Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm really excited to talk to you today about something that's genuinely changing how we work. AI tools for business. And not just any tools, I'm sharing the specific ones that are actually saving me time and money in my business right now. You know what? I completely understand if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the AI buzz. Trust me, I've been there. When you're running a business, the thought of learning yet another tool or technology can feel like, really? Another one? One more thing? But here's the deal. As entrepreneurs, our time is incredibly valuable. And that's exactly why I've done all the heavy lifting for you. Let me share a little bit of background here. I've been working with AI for quite a while now. I actually started using Jasper when it wasn't even called Jasper yet. Fun fact, I stuck with them through 3 name changes, from Conversion AI to Jarvis and finally to Jasper. But here's the thing. The AI landscape has exploded since then. There are literally hundreds of tools out there now. And let's be real, who has time to test them all? Not me, and definitely not you. That's why today's episode is different. I'm going to walk you through 5 AI tools that have actually earned their place in my daily operations. We're talking about tools that I personally use either every single day or at least weekly, most of them several times a week. These are the ones that have proven themselves to be genuinely helpful for my small business. What makes these tools different? Well, they're not just trendy new options. They're practical solutions that actually make a difference in your business. They help you work smarter, not harder, and that's what matters most. These are tools that I've carefully selected because they give me back what I need most, what all of us need most, our valuable time. So let's dive into these 5 tools. I'm going to break down exactly how I use each one, why it matters, and most importantly, how you can implement them in your business without getting overwhelmed. Because these tools are going to help you get more done with less stress. So let's get started with a look at 5 AI tools that are making a real difference in my business right now. Tool number 1, ChatGPT. I'm positive that you've heard of ChatGPT, right? It's an incredibly powerful tool that's actually completely free. Yes, they do have a plus version, which I subscribe to from time to time. I don't keep the plus version all the time. I only sign up for it when I need it. Let me share how I use ChatGPT in my business because it's such a valuable tool to me, especially when it comes to brainstorming and content creation. You know those moments when you're staring at a blank screen trying to come up with ideas? Maybe you're a little bit tired, you're not feeling particularly inspired or creative. That's exactly when ChatGPT becomes your best friend. Here's a practical example. Let's say you're struggling with naming a product. You can literally copy and paste some information about your product into ChatGPT and ask it to generate 10 different name options. What I usually do is look at all the suggestions and end up combining 2 or 3 of them to create something that really works for me. I suck at naming things and I tend to overthink it. So this has been such a time saver for me just to have those ideas. The same goes for podcast titles. Once you have your episode transcribed, you can feed it into ChatGPT and ask it for title suggestions. But here's where it gets even better. ChatGPT is fantastic for creating outlines, whether it's for a podcast, blog post, or emails. This has been a real turbo boost for my content creation process. Now, here's a little tip. I specifically ask for outlines rather than full scripts. Why? Well, while ChatGPT can write complete scripts, They often lack personality and real-world examples, and they can be kind of generic. I prefer getting an outline that I can customize, and then I can fill it in with my own stories, experiences, and personality. It gives me the structure that I need while keeping the content authentic. And can we talk about Instagram for a minute? Instagram content. Who else absolutely dreads writing social media content? Here's what I do. When I'm repurposing content, like turning a blog post into an Instagram post, I'll feed in a section of the original content and an angle that I want to use, and then ask ChatGPT to generate the Instagram content. I just created a carousel from a blog post yesterday using this method, and it saves so much time and mental energy. ChatGPT gets me 80% of the way there, and then I just tweak the slides and the caption to match my voice. Super easy. Another really useful feature is the ability to rephrase content. Here's a pro tip. The more context you give ChatGPT in your prompt, the better the response will be. You can ask it to make an email sound more friendly, more personalized, or more engaging. You can even ask it to add specific calls to action, like promoting a free resource. It's also great for project planning, whether you're organizing an event, working on a design project, or putting together a podcast pitch. ChatGPT can help create the framework. What I recommend is take the template that it gives you, copy it into Word or a Google Doc, and then customize it to fit your specific needs. I could literally do a whole episode on ChatGPT. There are just so many ways to do it. But let's move on to our next tool because I've got more time-saving secrets to share with you. So next up is Claude, which has become another essential AI assistant in my toolbox. I started using Claude alongside ChatGPT, and I found that they each have their own strengths that complement each other really well. What I love about Claude is its ability to handle more nuanced, complex tasks. When I'm working on longer content projects or I need a more detailed analysis, I find that Claude gives me more thorough, well-thought-out responses. It's particularly good at understanding context and maintaining consistency throughout longer conversations, where sometimes ChatGPT gets lost in the middle and it just kind of goes off track. So let me give you a specific example. When I'm planning out a new course or writing a detailed email sequence, I'll use Claude because it can keep track of the overall structure while helping me develop each section of the course or each piece of the email sequence. It's like having a detailed writing partner who never loses sight of the big picture. Where ChatGPT might give me quick, punchy ideas, Claude helps me develop those ideas more fully. I've found it especially useful for tasks like breaking down complex topics into teachable segments, reviewing and improving my content for clarity and flow, and helping me think through business strategies with more depth. With that said, there are times when I still prefer ChatGPT. It's often quicker for those rapid-fire brainstorming sessions that we talked about earlier. And I find its interface a little bit more user-friendly for quick tasks. If I just need a quick social media caption or I want to brainstorm some blog post titles, I'll usually just hop into ChatGPT. So I basically think of ChatGPT as my quick ideas partner and Claude as my deep work collaborator. Okay, let's talk about our next tool, Canva, which you may not think of as an AI tool. I've been using Canva for years in my business, and I'm really excited to share how they've integrated AI into their features. As a little bit of background, I use Canva almost daily for creating social media graphics, blog post graphics, and even course presentation slides. What I've always loved about Canva is how intuitive it is. I'm not a graphic designer, but I can still create professional-looking graphics easily. So Canva has rolled out some interesting AI features over the last couple of years that are worth talking about. First up is Magic Write, which is similar to ChatGPT, but it's built right into their docs area. You can use it to generate ideas for social media posts, articles, or Pinterest descriptions. Honestly, I still tend to use ChatGPT for that type of content, but if you're creating a lot of content across different platforms, this feature could certainly save you time because you don't have to go into another platform. They've also introduced text-to-image AI. And I'm going to be really honest with you here, I'm just getting into this. I've tested it out, and so far I haven't gotten any images that I really like that I'm willing to use. You can input something like beach sunset with an umbrella and a laptop, and it will generate an image based on your prompt. So far, everything that I've tried has been just a little bit off. But I think that I'm not using the right prompt yet, and I just need to practice more. And I did actually learn something a couple of weeks ago that will help with prompting. If you have an image that you like that you want to emulate, like maybe you have a stock photo that you want to create something similar to, you can copy and paste that photo into ChatGPT and ask it to describe the image. Then use that description as your prompt in Canva to create a brand new image. So I've played with this a couple of times, and I think that it has a lot of potential. But here's where things get really interesting with Canva AI. First, their magic eraser tool. This thing is actually amazing. If you have an image and you want to remove something from the background, you can just draw over it and it disappears. It's basically like having Photoshop built right into Canva. And this is huge because it means that you don't have to bounce between different platforms anymore to edit your photos. Everything's right there in one place. Another AI feature in Canva that I use a lot is their complete background remover. It's seriously such a time saver. If you've ever needed to remove the background from a product photo or to create a clean headshot for your website or for a collaboration, you know that this used to be such a tedious process. Now in Canva, you can just upload your image, click one button, and the AI automatically removes the background for you. It's like magic. What I love most is how accurate it is. It's really good at detecting edges, even with tricky things like hair or complex products. And if it doesn't get it quite right the first time, you can easily touch it up with their editing tools. I use this all the time for creating professional-looking graphics for my courses and for social media, especially when I want to layer elements or I want to include a selfie without the background. They also have something called Presentation Magic. Actually, I think they may have changed the name of that tool. Anyway, I think it has potential, but it's not quite there yet, for me anyway. The idea is that you describe what your presentation is about, and it generates a template with different slide options and ideas. I've tried it a few times, and while it's pretty good, it's not great enough yet for me to switch from my existing slide templates. But I'm really interested to see how this feature develops. About the pricing, I use the paid version of Canva, which is $15 a month. There is a free version, but I believe that they have usage limits on AI generation in the free version. Personally, for Canva, I'm most excited about Background Remover and Magic Eraser. These are the features that are actually making a difference in my workflow right now. The text-to-image and presentation features have potential, but they're still evolving. I do think they'll get better, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where Canva takes these AI tools in the future. Okay, our fourth tool is Descript, and I'll just tell you, I'm actually recording this episode in Descript right now. Descript is a platform for recording and editing videos and audios. I've been using it for a couple of years now to edit and transcribe course videos. And I'll tell you, I probably would not have even started this podcast if it weren't for Descript. It's so easy to edit video and audio. I didn't have to learn a new tool in order to start podcasting. So one of the AI features is called Studio Sound, and it removes background noise and improves recording quality with just one click. I would have really struggled with that on my own. What's really neat is that you can choose different levels of enhancement depending on your audio needs. If you've ever dealt with unexpected background noise or audio that doesn't sound quite right, then you know how valuable this is. One time last summer, I accidentally left my fan running while I was recording an episode, and it was so loud in the recording. Studio Sound cut that right out. And then the editing capabilities are what really shine here. Descript can automatically identify and shorten gaps in your content. You know, those awkward pauses in videos or audio that typically take forever to edit out manually. It finds all of those gaps at once and lets you adjust them in bulk, which is just incredibly time-saving. And here's another feature that saves me hours of editing time, and that's removing filler words. Descript can detect all those ums and ahs and remove them automatically. You have some options here. You can either delete all of them at once or go through and select specific ones to remove. I really appreciate that flexibility because I prefer to go through one by one rather than do a bulk cleanup on those. It works better for my brain. I'm also using Descript now to create timestamp summaries for my show notes and for course videos. This is a one-click AI feature. I actually have another app that does this that I bought on AppSumo about a year ago, but I don't have to use it anymore. I can just do this in Descript. That saves me time from having to upload the episode to another app and then wait for it to generate the timestamps. Being able to do this in Descript streamlines my workflow. So let's talk about pricing. There is a free option available, a free version, but I really recommend the paid version of Descript. It starts at $12 a month, and that's the plan that I use. Is it 12 or is it 15? It's either 12 or 15. I can't remember which. So I do use the paid version because the free version it's pretty limited. I think you only get about 60 minutes of transcription per month, and you're limited on the more powerful features. I think the free version is really just intended to be a trial. If you're creating any kind of audio or video content regularly, the paid version is definitely worth the investment. All right, moving on to our final tool. Let's talk about the Marketing Magic app. I saved this one for last because it's one of my faves. I use it pretty much every day. Marketing Magic is specifically designed for people like us, course creators, digital product sellers, and personal brands. What I love about it is that it is customized to your business. You feed in all kinds of information about your brand and your products, and it saves it and then uses that info for the outputs. And the prompts are built in. So no more trying to figure out the right prompts like you often have to do with ChatGPT or with Claude. So let me give you some practical examples of how I use it. It helps me create consistent messaging across different platforms and for different use cases. For example, recently, I think this was last week, I needed a bio for a speaking gig, and it has templates for that, ready to go. If you're running a launch, it can help you set up your entire sales funnel, from sales page copy to email sequences to social media posts. It's all right there in one place, and it all works together. I just used it yesterday to update a checkout page for a bundle that I'm going to participate in. And what really sets it apart is that it's not trying to be everything for everyone. It's specifically built for online entrepreneurs, and that focus shows up in the features. The templates are relevant, the copy suggestions make sense for our industry, and it understands the kind of language that resonates with our audiences. Now let's talk about pricing. While it's not free like the basic version of ChatGPT, I have totally found the investment to be worth it for the time that it saves me and the quality of the output. In fact, I've said several times that it's the best investment I've made in the last couple of years. So here's what I suggest. Marketing Magic offers a free trial so that you can test it out and see if it fits with your workflow. For my business, it's become an essential tool because it streamlines so much of my marketing content creation process. It's like having a marketing team member who knows exactly what you need and how you want it done. I'll drop a link to the free trial in the show notes. And actually, I'll include links to all the tools mentioned in the show notes, which you can find at tanyakendrick.com/51. So there you have it. 5 AI tools that are genuinely making a difference in my business. Let's do a quick recap. We started with ChatGPT for content creation and brainstorming. Then we looked at Claude for more complex, detailed work. We explored Canva's AI features for design work, Descript for streamlining audio and video content creation, and finally, the Marketing Magic app for specialized marketing needs. What I really want you to take away from today's episode is that AI doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't have to implement every new tool that comes along. Start with one that aligns with your biggest time sink. Maybe that's content creation with ChatGPT or streamlining your marketing workflows with Marketing Magic. Pick one tool, learn it well, and then consider adding another when you're ready. Remember, the goal isn't to use AI just because everybody else is using AI. It's about finding tools that actually save you time and make your work better. Each of these tools has earned its place in my workflow because it solves a specific problem or makes a particular task significantly easier. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these tools are you most interested in trying? Or maybe you're already using some of them. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Tanya Kendrick. Just send me a DM and let me know what you think, which ones you want to try. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast for more practical business tips and tools. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.